After 8 years of legal battles, a Tucson country music station went off the air for good today. KIKX Radio was stripped of its broadcasting license by a federal court panel because of a fake news story that it aired in 1974. One of the disc jockeys told listeners that another DJ had been kidnapped. Both men were fired, but the FCC would not renew the station's license. It was a hard time for the station's 16 employees last night.
Up until midnight, I'd say the attitude was pretty positive. People were talking, they were telling stories, telling jokes. We were talking about the past, talking about the present, talking about some of the things we had planned for the future. As we got to about 11:55, it started to quiet down, and when I walked out back and turned the transmitter off, it just got deathly silent. And there were a lot of tears and a lot of hugging, and then people just started filtering away because everybody knew it was over.
KIKX Radio went on the air in 1951. It's played everything from rock to country music. It left the air last night to the music of the last cowboy song.
With 4 kinds of...
If you were a fan of country music station KIKX, you'll have to find another place to set your radio dial. Last night at midnight, the station signed off the air for good, a victim of federal ruling. Edie Fawcett explains.
This is the last cowboy song.
At this time, KIKX leaves the air.
With that, KIKX's transmitter was shut off. The 5,000-watt AM country music station became history. For the past 8 years, the station has been operating without a broadcast license. It was taken away by the Federal Communications Commission as a result of a kidnapping hoax in 1974. The courts upheld the FCC's action, and after years of appeals, KIKX's owner decided to finally give up the hard-fought battle. General Manager Jim Scopac says KIKX has always had an uphill climb.
And I think we had a little bit more camaraderie than a lot of stations, and we stuck together a little bit more because we had to always work under adverse circumstances. We had this supposed cloud always hanging over our head.
Ed Kaye was a disc jockey at KIKX. He understood when he was hired this year that the station could fold at any time and he could lose his job. But he thinks the wrong people are being punished.
I think it's a bit unfair for those of us who have been working here faithfully and loyally now to have to take the end of it.
The FCC will now be accepting applications to take over KIKX's primary frequency. That process, with all its red tape, could take from 5 to 7 years, according to Scopac. Meanwhile, 14 Tucsonans are out of work, and Tucson is out of a radio station.
Yeah, it would be very sad to leave. There were a lot of good people here. They worked hard. They tried the best they could, and I've developed a lot of good friendships, and I hope they're long-term friendships in the future. And those are things that you just can't wash out. They don't go away.
The voices sound sad as they're singing along. Another piece of America's lost.
Edie Fawcett, TV4, Eyewitness News.
And that's it. Tucson's KIKX has given up the fight. With the playing of the last cowboy song, the station signed off for good at midnight. Federal Communications Commission has been trying to strip KIKX of its license since 1974. That's when 2 of the station's disc jockeys faked a kidnapping and aired a phony report on the kidnapping. That's it for us tonight. For John and Jimmy and all the talented folks behind the cameras, thanks for joining us. Our next news tomorrow morning during CBS.